Hi, welcome to another video. This video will feature this week's comic books that came out on June 18th, 2014. And I will, just to let you guys know, I will be reviewing mostly all Marvel comic books because right now that's all that I seem to be getting at this point. So, if you're looking for reviews in DC comic books, I'm sorry, I'm just not interested in anything DC is putting out right now, but I just thought I would give you my reviews on what I picked up this week. So first Marvel comic book that we have that I bought, and probably the greatest comic book that I've read this week, is Original Sin, 4 out of 8. This is a great series. This is Marvel's main event right now that's going on in the Marvel Universe, and it's an event that affects every character in the Marvel Universe. And what I like about this event so far is it's got a lot of action, a lot of surprises in it so far. The last issue before this one had an oh my god moment, and this issue has an oh my god moment. So a lot of surprises, a lot of action, and some comedic things happen, throughout this. Some moments that I personally laughed out loud at. So, great series. If you are interested in what's going on, I definitely would pick this up. I don't know why more people aren't talking about this. Maybe they're just oversaturated with all the events that keep happening in DC, both in DC and Marvel, and I can understand that to a point. But I just found this to be a great event. I just picked it up because it's an event, and I wanted to find out what was going on, and so I picked this up, and I'm so glad I did because this was the best comic book I've read this week. I give this a 10 out of 10. Great stuff. And next comic book I'll be reviewing is Iron Man number 28. Now, this is the last part in the Mandarin Rings story arc, and it was a I haven't read the last, I think, 2 issues. I'm missing I'm missing some back issues to this story arc. So I did order them, but they haven't come in yet. So, but I did read this one, and it was nice to see Pepper Potts featured in this issue. It was great to see Tony and his brother working alongside each other, and it was just a good, solid read for me. It was a little confusing, obviously, because I had not read the last 2 issues of the story arc, but it was an okay read, fairly okay. I would give this like an 8, maybe like an 8 out of 10, just because I didn't think it had a solid ending to. I mean, everything ends pretty much with the bad guy. I don't know how to pronounce this. Melikov or something. Melican. I don't know. Anyway, it was one of Thor's bad guys in Thor 2 movie. Anyway, he pretty much at the end of this story just goes off and does, to his own planet, and basically, teaches his kids that Iron Man and Tony Stark are terrible people and should never be trusted, and even the other people on Melikov's planet are like, yeah, great, there he goes about Tony Stark again, scaring the kids about Tony Stark. But other than that, and Tony and his brother have a few laughs at the end. But like I said, it was great to see Pepper Potts featured in this issue because I was wondering what happened to her. And she breaks it off with her ex-fiance now, I guess, and basically says, I'm done with you, you're a loser, and not in those words, but she basically says that to him, and visits him in the hospital and, puts the ring down. So it was great to see that moment in this issue, and like I said, I give this issue an 8 out of 10. And now for Avengers 31. And I have to say I was a bit perplexed reading this issue. This was not a very good issue. The 2 issues that were leading up to this issue were reasonably well written, but then what happens to the Avengers is they travel so far into the future, and nobody really trusts Tony Stark at this point. Everybody's mad at Tony Stark, and they blame him for everything. I'm not sure why exactly. But the Avengers accidentally travel like 500 years into the future, and things get so convoluted in this issue that it gets kind of confusing, even to me. And the other bad thing about this issue that I hate is it has the original Sin logo right there, but this has, as far as I can tell, this really has nothing to do with the original Sin series. So I don't know why they put this here when clearly, I mean, yeah, there's some mistrust between Captain America and Iron Man, leading up to this issue, in the story that's going on, story arc that's going on in the event. But that's really it. It's not, pivotal to the original Sin. That's the only connection I can make with the original Sin. And maybe, further down the line in the original Sin series itself, we'll explain more in detail. But anyway, this was just a confusing read to me, and I really hope they clear matters up in the next issue, because quite frankly, I was confused by the end of this issue. So I give this like a 3 out of 10 rating. Yeah, because it was really confusing and convoluted. And now probably for the worst issue I read this week, Iron Patriots. Yes, and if you're wondering why it's not bagged and boarded and it looks kind of shitty, it's basically because I don't care enough about this comic book to bag and board it, to waste one of my bags and board. I've read the first 4 issues, and this is issue number 4, by the way. I read the first 4 issues of this series, and the characters didn't relate. Didn't relate to any of the characters. The art inside this book was kind of clunky to me. I didn't really appreciate the art inside. And like I said, it just seemed like they rushed right into the action and didn't explain the characters really at all. Didn't tell you backgrounds on any of the characters that are featured in this story arc. And it just like jumped right into the action without explaining anything to you. So I will not be picking up this series anymore. I'm sorry, I collected 1 through 4, and quite frankly, I give this a 1 out of 10. It's basically crap, and I would stay the heck away from this. Now, for probably another good series, Punisher number 7. This is a series that I started reading recently, and I've enjoyed this series a lot. This is another series that I don't see anybody mentioning or talking about, and I don't know why that is, but this is a really good series. Punisher, this is the kind of series that I always wanted to read the Punisher in, because this is one of those series where the Punisher just gets to be the Punisher, He ends up taking on Electro, Spider-Man's one of Spider-Man's rogue villains, Electro. And, he's just a regular guy in basically a superhero world, a supervillain world, where everybody has superpowers, and he's just a regular, guy, with a gun and lots of ammo, and, he's a vigilante in this issue. This is the kind of Punisher series I've always wanted to read. It's just Punisher being Punisher, and he's, he's trying to track down, some drug gang in this story arc, and it's really well written, I think. Like I said, this is just a cool series. It's Punisher being a badass, and you can't go wrong with that, in my opinion. So if you have not checked out this series, I would highly recommend that you do. And that's all I gotta really say about this issue. It was well written. I thought the story arc was well written, and I'm just gonna continue to pick this up. So I give this book a 9 out of 10. Probably I give it a 9 just basically on the art inside. I did, like I said, it was basically the same as the art inside Iron Patriot. It was that type of style of art, and I just don't like it. You know, I like the old classic feel. Like, you know, when it comes to like Original Sin, you know, that's one of the things I loved about this issue was the art was so clean and crisp, and you know, whereas Iron Patriot was like clunky and cartoony, and this, you know, I don't know who the artist was that did this in Iron Patriot, but it was just clunky, but the story was good, and you know, like I said, so definitely if you see any back issues of this, like I said, it's only number 7, so they're not, you know, they're not that far ahead in the series, so I really hope this series keeps going. I'm really enjoying this series. And that's basically all I picked up for this week. And I hope you guys out there subscribe to this channel and keep checking back, because I will be doing other videos on back issues that I've read. And hopefully you guys will subscribe and tell me what your thoughts are on this week's Marvel Comics. And I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.